Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
So yesterday, Tulsi Gabbard, or as I like to call her, T-Gab, was confirmed and sworn in as D&I director. It did happen. It was a close vote, 52-48, but she's in.
Yeah, the turtle.
Doesn't matter. All you need is 50% plus one. That's all you need.
I was wondering if it did land on 50, same with RFK today and likely Cash tomorrow. J.D. Vance is in Europe right now, right?
Oh.
How's that work? We're going to leave the vote open?
Can he vote from afar?
Can he zoom in?
We want them to be able to do that so they don't clog up D.C. and give the lobbyists, ducks on a pond.
Yeah, that could be a bad thing.
But I'm sure Thune would just say, all right, we'll leave the vote open until, for 5 days or whatever.
Yeah, till he comes back. Wow.
But Mitch McConnell, the only Republican.
Yes.
Because he sucks.
Yep. The only one who voted against her was Mitch McConnell. Incredible. That's just, here's what he said. The nation should not have to worry that the intelligence assessments the president receives are tainted by a director of national intelligence with a history of alarming lapses in judgment. Oh, okay. I love that. Because I guess that we should have to worry about a Senate minority leader who literally freezes up multiple times in the middle of press conferences for some unknown health reason, falls downstairs multiple times, and is clearly in failing health as he refuses to leave that office and turn it over to somebody, who's, healthy of body and mind, maybe. What a concept. We should have to worry about that. Like, what's wrong with Mitch McConnell? Why is he still a U.S. senator? But we shouldn't have to worry about somebody with bad judgment.
Wait, he didn't say that, right? I bet that was a press release or something. No way it's
in quotation marks.
Speak a sentence that long and coherent. This
Crazy.
Guy.
Unreal.
Yeah, he's playing the role of John McCain because Obamacare didn't end because of John McCain's vote. And now he is the anti-Trump. He's the anti-Trump of the Republican Party just because I can be. It's so stupid.
It gives him attention, I guess. So
I would love to see how he would vote if it came down, if it was 50-49 Dems for some of these nominees. Is he gonna just do that to make a point? Look at you, Trump. I mean something, or is he gonna railroad his picks? I don't know, man. This guy needs to be gone.
It's a little nerve-wracking because today's a really big day. Kash Patel for FBI director. I want that to happen. He needs to be confirmed. So his final confirmation vote is expected today, and RFK. So is RFK Jr.'s.
So RFK is today. I think it's committee vote, right?
Oh, yeah, committee vote, not the final vote. The committee vote for Kash Patel. Jeez, which should have happened a long time ago. But they delayed it till today so that he might or might not get out of committee today. And then RFK's, that's a final vote, right?
Yeah, I've looked everywhere for a time. Now, if you started the 30-hour clock from yesterday when they started it, it should be this evening. But I keep seeing things as early as this morning. They're saying he would be up for. So I don't know, but I think it's around 6 o'clock Eastern tonight for RFK.
Okay. Wow. So by tomorrow morning, at least, we should know. But the Kash Patel vote is super critical to me. I really want him to be FBI director. That guy would clean up that agency, give it an enema, the enema that is needed and has been needed for 100 years.
That's a lot in there.
Yeah, there is a lot. You might have to go for multiple enemas there, but geez.
A century's worth of enemas. Okay.
And then over at the DOGE hearing on wasteful spending, Representative Robert Garcia made a fool of himself.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later in the program. But first, let's go back to the Super Bowl halftime show because it was so good and everybody loved it so much.
Yeah, so I mean I mean, he's going to make a fool of himself here. Garcia was all over the place yesterday, but here we got to set this up with the Kendrick Lamar thing, right?
Probably A minor.
All right, that sets up the comedian, Robert Garcia. Boy, he sucks.
Carry out this agenda across all these agencies. And in some cases, actually teenage staffers. No accountability, no experience, and problematic records. They're trying to rob you, and they're probably a minor. Ugh. Thank you, and I yield.
Are you serious?
Long way to that well, huh? To make a point about the DOGE team?
Wow. That's amazing. That is bizarre.
He sucks.
What is the deal with the Kendrick Lamar Drake thing, too?
Wait a minute. Stay focused here. We're in the DOGE hearing.
I can't. I have never, until this Super Bowl controversy, I've never, and I don't listen to rap music, but I guess this has been out for a while. I don't understand the Drake I mean, this really, that big a star is being accused of having sex with a minor? Is that what the deal is?
Well,
and that makes him a pedophile, or
it's more than that.
It's the Diddy stuff, right?
It just goes back. They were just going back and forth in this rap battle for about a year.
Awesome.
So this is just a long
Put him in a
coming
cage.
of a rap battle.
Let's
from
let him fight
last
it out.
year.
Fight it out.
All right. So,
you know what? It might make more sense to those of us who don't follow the rap wars when the Epstein files get released. Or the Diddy thing goes to trial.
Well, I mean, if Kash Patel is confirmed, I think we'll get access to all that stuff. Certainly Epstein. I don't know about the Diddy files. I don't think anybody's said anything about that. But certainly the Epstein files.
It's going to go to trial, supposedly. So
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see. So anyway, you needed to hear the setup for the comedian Congressman Robert Garcia. That's why we played the Robert Garcia one, because he's trying so hard to be relatable and to bring it back to, look, I watched the Super Bowl. I know about this rap battle. Good thing we got that. That was really worthwhile. Representative Jamie Raskin was ranting and then put in his place by entrepreneur, is it Maggot Wade?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce her name.
He and his mutant teenage racist computer hackers have taken possession of financial payment systems at the United States Department of Treasury, meaning data access to the private financial records of every American citizen, every member of Congress, every federal prosecutor, every regulator who's supposed to be looking at what his business does. And what have the courts been saying? They've said a dozen times in 3 weeks that they're violating the Constitution of the United States and the laws passed by Congress. That's what's going on in America today. That's what we should be having a hearing about, not some eerie academic conversation about the administrative state.
And the fact that, Mr. Raskin, you're here this whole time we've been here. You've just been complaining about the process. I'll call it a process. And again, I'm not disagreeing with your issues right now around Musk and the process that's following Mr. Vladek, the process that you're following. At some point, what is the end game? Isn't the end game to make us, the American people, better off? Isn't it?
Yes,
Isn't it?
it is.
No, I hear you saying that the stuff that would make us better off doesn't matter. All you care about right now is a process of Musk and his associates are not doing this the right way. Is the goal moral and right or not? If you say it is, as I think you should be saying, then the fight shouldn't be about, we need to take Musk down or Trump down. Let us rethink that if you want, but keep your eye on the ball, and your ball should be me.
Wait, whoa.
It should be me. I'm sorry, it should be me.
Yeah.
It should be me. How do we make me better off? Thank you, Mr. Jordan.
You bet, and by me, you mean the American people.
That's what I mean by that.
The process is important because you don't want to be doing unconstitutional things, but they're not. This is not unconstitutional. I don't know where they're getting that. Somebody needs to correct these people on the process and whether or not it's illegal. You've got a president who appointed people to do the job that he oversees, and he makes the decisions. And they don't have power to do the things that Raskin is worried about. And we learned that from Scott Bessent, who talked about the fact that even he, as Treasury Secretary, can't make the changes they're talking about, but they can recommend them. And that's what's happening.
I mean, they're just running scared on the left. They don't have a plan. They didn't expect this kind of outside of the box thinking from a president in his administration. And I think Jesse Kelly's tweet yesterday says it perfectly. Reminder to Democrats, Trump 45 was a puppy dog who walked into office ready to make deals with you and govern from the middle. But you couldn't control your demonic urges. You had to impeach him and shoot him, and now you get what you get. Don't throw a fit. Boom. There it is. It's a much different story this time with 47 than it was with 45, and Democrats are just going to have to cope and seethe.
Yep. As we mentioned, he's had this stuff in his head for 4 years. He had 4 years to plan and to revise and to get committed to really getting things done, and that's what we're seeing right now. And they're going out of their minds as a result because he's undoing 100 years worth of progressivism right now. Freshman Congressman Brandon Gill from Texas called out the left. This was nice.
All we've heard about for most of this hearing from the other side of the aisle is Elon Musk, unelected bureaucrat. And I'd like to ask if Democrats really care about unelected bureaucrats making decisions over our lives, where were they whenever their god Anthony Fauci was forcing vaccine and mask mandates on the American people for 4 years during the COVID crisis? Where were they whenever unelected Alejandro Mayorkas was facilitating the invasion of our country by illegal aliens who were murdering and raping and pillaging our people? Where were they whenever the Secretary of Education, unelected Cardona, targeted states and schools and people who were disagreed with his view of the radical left's transgender ideology? Where were they whenever Gary Gensler, former chairman of the SEC, also unelected, was lawlessly thwarting the development of financial markets, particularly in the crypto space, by lawlessly pursuing regulation via enforcement? They were nowhere to be seen because they don't care, because all of those things benefited their side of the aisle at the expense of ours. And perhaps that's also why they don't seem to be very interested in rooting out improper payments from our federal government. If you wonder why so many people are cynical about American politics, this is it. This is exactly why. The reality is that Elon Musk serves as an employee of the president, and we were given a massive mandate to carry out what he's been doing. His job is to carry out the will of the American people as expressed through the executive. That's exactly how the Constitution is supposed to work. The Constitution did not create an unelected, unaccountable fourth branch of government in the administrative state. The American people know this. The Democrat Party has for decades systematically grown and weaponized the administrative state against the American people, and the American people have had enough of it. Right now, we're talking about $2.7 trillion in improper payments since 2003. We're uncovering what could be the biggest money laundering scandal in American history. And the other side of the aisle could care less. They have no concern about where this money went, to what entities it went, to what governments, to what people or groups. Nothing. All they want to talk about is Elon Musk incessantly. So it does make me wonder, if they don't care about where it's going, do they have an idea? Because what we've uncovered so far is that so much of the waste, fraud, and abuse of our federal government is actually funding their side of the aisle. It's funding media outlets that are running cover for Democrats routinely. The NPR, PBS, the BBC, Politico. It's going to fund left-wing NGOs that are facilitating the invasion of our country. It's going to fund left-wing transgender activism and sex changes all over the globe. This is money that's being used, taken from the American people and used against their interests. Right now, even of the 6 Democrats on this committee, only one can even be bothered to stay for the duration of this hearing.
Wow, so they just didn't even sit there for this.
The heavenly choir was there, though, and they chimed in because nobody else was there. Did the left get up and leave? Did they leave during this, or was it after? Well, I mean, before he started talking.
I think it's before. They didn't hardly ever hang out in there and
that guy.
To the other side.
First time, right? Because I think he's barely old enough to be in Congress. He's 30 years old.
Yeah,
30.
Yeah, and he's also called for the deportation of Ilhan Omar, which we will revisit later.
Oh, I love that. That's nice.
I mean, but he had so much there. I mean, listen to this.
Yeah, there was a lot.
From Elon Musk to Gill's point there, Reuters was paid millions of dollars by the U.S. government for, quote, large-scale social deception. Elon says, that is literally what it says on the purchase order. Large-scale social deception. 3 DEI contracts were canceled yesterday that totaled $45 million. And you know that judge who was upset about those web pages being taken down
and wanted to put back up.
His wife apparently has been a long-term recipient of USAID.
Oh.
And by the way, Senator Hawley yesterday said that if you think USAID is a corrupt thing, just wait until you see how our money's been spent in Ukraine. Can't wait for those documents to finally show. Oh, you got the DOGE numbers? Oh, Chris has got some numbers of DOGE in action. This is right now. This is how much money they've saved us so far. So was that 89 billion in running? Right there in the middle, the orange part, yellow.
Okay. Oh yeah, DOGE clock. 89,825 million.
Incredible, right? And Thomas Massey had a great meme that said, if an NGO has to shut down after its government funding is cut off, it never was a non-government organization. Amen.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We did get that $59 million back. FEMA got it back from New York City for those hotels for illegals.
Oh.
So that got back to our coffers.
Did it really?
Sure did.
How about that?
This government, this administration.
Things are happening.
Is hard at work. God bless them.
Things are happening. Jeez. Well, it's going to be great to see Brandon Gill in office in like 2085 because you know he's going to be there for 60 years. Let's just keep electing him and re-electing him.
Wait, I thought you liked the term limit thing.
I do.
What about for good guys like that, though?
But unless we put term limits in, he's going to be there forever. We'll just keep sending him back. He's got a good long career ahead of him.
Yeah.
But he's from that generation where the word when doesn't exist for them for some reason. Do you say whenever all the time instead of when, Chris? I don't think I've ever noticed that with you.
No.
But
and you're pretty picky about what I say.
He kept saying, where were they whenever? It's not whenever. It's when. Where were they when this happened? Because it's a specific time. Can we please get that?
So whenever we say when correctly, do we get a cookie, like a Kexi cookie?
Sure, when available. Yes.
So whenever we say when.
Yeah, parenthetically. Yeah. It's worth it to me. I'll bring in enough cookies to encourage everybody to say whenever and when at the right times. I don't know what happened. Whenever did when get out of our lexicon? How did this happen?
I got a buddy who does the same thing.
Really?
And,
I got somebody in my family.
I just thought it was his thing, but I didn't realize it was.
No, it's a thing. It's sweeping the generation.
Is it? Huh.
Yeah, I think it's already happened. The word when has been eliminated.
I tell you what. Do you want to fall in love with Brandon Gill again since the whenever thing is starting to derail your opinion of him? Go to clip 25. You got to go to clip 25 so you can see him later yesterday evening with CNN.
Kid's 30 years old.
Okay, let's.
I mean, he's got a lot of wisdom for 30 years old, and he's pretty bold. And no doubt that's why his district elected him.
And this is a bold clip, but I just don't want you waiting for him to say whenever.
Okay, yeah, right. I'll try not to.
If he does or not.
I will try not to. Go ahead.
Just want to follow up with this post that you had on X. You said that Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, U.S. citizen, should be deported to her home country of Somalia. Omar became a naturalized citizen at 17. Why did you do that?
Why'd you do that, Brandon?
Listen, my colleague, Ilhan Omar, she is an American citizen. She is a member of the House of Representatives. I didn't call for her to be deported, but I did say that America would be better off were she deported. I think that there is a serious problem, particularly given after the past 4 years of open borders, of Democrats facilitating the invasion of our country by illegal aliens. My colleague Ilhan Omar was advising illegal alien Somalis on how to evade ICE detection. That is as un-American as you can possibly get. It's unbecoming of a congressperson.
What evidence? Where are you getting that from specifically? Where are you getting that from specifically?
We have the audio of her doing that.
But do you
it was
think
in an
that
interview.
She is a duly elected member of Congress. Her constituents put her in office.
She has a duty to uphold the values and customs of America, not to represent foreign illegal aliens who shouldn't be here to begin with.
Oh my gosh,
and
that's
I
great.
think that raises serious
is
questions.
helping people understand what the laws are. But listen.
Oh good gosh. Oh my gosh.
Most loyal illegal aliens, Somalis, or American citizens.
She's representing her constituents.
Very legitimate question.
As a member of Congress. Congressman Brandon Gill, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate this conversation. I think it's really important.
So do I.
And I think our viewers appreciate it as well. Thank you so much, Congressman, and look forward to
We appreciate him. Certainly don't appreciate you just being an arm for the Democrat Party, just being propaganda for them.
For breaking the law.
She might as well have been representing Ilhan Omar right there.
No kidding.
Ilhan Omar. I mean, you would think she was her chief of staff the way she jumped in there.
Right.
Jeez.
I don't know who that CNN chick is.
I don't either. I don't know that we've ever seen her
You
before.
talk about moving the goalposts in the middle of the conversation. She goes, where did you get that info?
And then he gives that to her.
And then she goes, well, she represents the people in her district. And then she tries to switch the subject and goes, well, she's just advising them of the law. And then she goes back to, she's just representing, oh my gosh, who are you? Shut up.
Right. She's just representing Somalia.
No kidding.
That's who she's not representing the United States of America in our interests. That's for sure.
By the way, we're done taking applications for the new Matt Gaetz. Be offended. We have our new one, Brandon Gill.
He's great.
From Texas.
By the way, I know where he's getting all this stuff because his wife is Danielle D'Souza, daughter of Dinesh D'Souza.
Yes!
Really?
That's who that is.
Oh, okay.
So we know where he's getting all his.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Well done, Brandon.
He's got quite the father-in-law, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
That is cool. I had no idea. Wow.
Funny story is he had before he went to Congress, he had a gathering, and I got an invite, but I failed to RSVP, so I thought I would just show up, and they had already closed down this coffee shop where he was, and the doors were all locked and stuff, and I was severely underdressed, so I did not try to go in and bust through this, but now in hindsight, I wish I had met this guy.
Yeah.
This guy is awesome, but
He's
yes, that's who that is. It's the son-in-law of Dinesh. Nice boy.
What town is he in?
He's up in Northwest, kind of between Fort Worth and Denton. Just basically on the fringe of Metro DFW.
Okay. He's good.
He's awesome.
Some will call that the 26th district. But
yes, but I was wondering what city what area that's in.
Yeah, whenever you're talking about a congressman, you want to be specific. You don't want to
really
give numbers.
Yeah.
Whenever you're talking about them.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's the word of the day, kids.
Whenever.
Yeah,
whatever. You know, whenever we hear about the supply chain, it's unpredictable, and it can be really fragile at times. Whenever your package is delayed for weeks, it's really annoying, and it can be dangerous. Just frankly dangerous. You need essential medications when you need them. You can't wait for them for a week or two. So that's where Jace comes in.
Boom.
The Jace case takes out that unpredictability. So when you need your medication, it's there. It's customized to your specific needs, whether you're traveling, whether you're buying it for your kids, or you just want some peace of mind just in case. Jace has you covered. And right now, they're holding giveaways all month long to make sure that you can have the right medications on hand the moment you need them. You can win anything from the travel case, the Jace Go, to a fully custom Jace case. Now's the time to protect yourself and your family from uncertainty. Your health is just too important, and so is that of your family. So go to jace.com to enter the giveaway or to purchase your own case. Enter the promo code PAT at checkout, and you'll get a discount on your order. That's promo code PAT at jace.com.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
All we're hearing from Democrats, Elon Musk, 19-year-olds, Elon Musk. You know why he's using 19-year-olds or 25-year-olds or whatever is because they're hip to what's going on in the computer world. They know how to get into systems that need to be gotten into. And so that's why he's doing this, because we've got coders who know what they're doing, and they're really smart kids. I mean, I don't care how old they are if they can get the job done.
And they haven't been absorbed by the machine.
Right.
And they are still eager to help save this country.
They could be 12 for all I care. Just do the job. Let's just get it done. Here was more from the DOGE hearing, though. Medicaid management was discussed.
And as Medicaid has grown, so too has mismanagement. Today, more than $1 in $5 spent on Medicaid is improper. In Medicaid alone, fraud and mismanagement is on track to cost U.S. taxpayers, get this, more than $1 trillion over the next 10 years.
And you don't care about that? I mean, Democrats don't care about that. Correct. Any of these numbers that are being disclosed and uncovered, they haven't spoken to any of it that I've heard. They don't care.
Right.
They don't care. And U.S. tax dollars have been funding animal cruelty. Maybe they'll care about this.
It is estimated that over $20 billion a year of taxpayers' money is still wasted annually on ineffective and inhumane tests on tens of millions of puppies, kittens, and other animals.
Really?
Am I being flippant when I use the word waste? Absolutely not. The NIH itself has said, quote, animal models fail to mimic disease or predict how drugs will work in humans, resulting in much wasted time and money, end quote. Yet agencies continue to dump billions of tax dollars into animal tests despite the horrible return on investment. Experiments we've uncovered range from the savage to the stupid, injecting puppies with cocaine, staging hamster fight clubs, putting dead turtles on treadmills. One of the reasons this problem has gotten so out of control is a stunning lack of innovation, transparency, and accountability. Agencies do not report or even track in some cases how much money is being spent, how many animals are used, what's being done to them, where, and what taxpayers are getting out of it. We file hundreds of FOIA requests every year to glean just basic information. When we can find out how tax dollars are being spent, it becomes apparent why federal agencies fight against disclosing details. For example, Senator Rand Paul's December 2024 Festivus report highlighted cruel taxpayer-funded cat experiments exposed by my organization. In one $10 million DARPA grant, cats have marbles shoved up their rectums and are electroshocked to make them defecate in constipation experiments.
What?
We've also recently identified over $240 million in NIH grants for transgender animal experiments, including $26 million in active funding. Some of these tests, as the chairwoman mentioned, examine the effects of party drugs on animals injected with testosterone and how hormones used for human gender transitions impact the size and shape of animals' genitals.
That's your tax dumbfounding.
Yep.
Wow.
No words.
You would think the left would be, they don't care about humans, obviously. They don't care about human life. But the animals are supposed to be important to them. Huh. That's interesting.
No, not Anthony
But we
Fauci
stopped the puppy research a long time ago. I guess not.
There was beagles behind him while he was giving that presentation.
That was Fauci.
Don't forget those beagles. Yep. Oh, my gosh. And then they continued. I mean, that didn't... The beagle experiments didn't stop there. I mean, they uncovered recently more just indescribable stuff.
That's horrific.
Yeah,
that's really horrific, and it gets worse because apparently there's humans involved as well in this research, which is great. We'll get into Fauci and the NIH coming up here in a minute.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
welcome. Great to have you with us. Got some tweets here. Big Balls Business. Tweets.
Wait, what?
With all the, I'm not going to repeat it. With all the aging politicians, VeggieTales is officially in D.C. Sure is. Been that way for a while now.
Yeah.
Unrepentant thought criminal. The Democrats had no problem with hiring 87,000 IRS agents to audit. Now they're butthurt that DOGE is auditing the government. Isn't that the truth? Senate. That's a reference to Senator Whitehouse, right? Yeah.
Deep cut.
Dems cried about seeing President Trump's taxes for years, but the American people are supposed to turn a blind eye to their books? Yeah, exactly. Yes. Cheap Fake Tony. Where were you whenever Pat launched his jihad on the improper use of whatever? You'll remember it the rest of your life.
Yes.
This is twisted. We've been showing you some of the things the Democrats care about and conversely do not care about, like animal cruelty. You don't hear about anything that DOGE is uncovering from Democrats. All you hear about is the process.
Yep.
Right? They're pissed off that these are young people who are cracking these algorithms and finding out these systems and the payment systems and logging this, and we have saved us already. What's it been? It's been 3 weeks. I'm not sure if they started day one, but...
Yeah, remember 2 a.m. January 21st.
Yeah, okay, right. Yep, we talked about that Monday. So far, $89 billion. Incredible.
And counting.
We're almost to $90 billion, in fact. So the U.S. national debt clock may slow down a little bit here.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Slow down.
Just slow
not
down
reverse.
a bit. No. Nope, not yet.
Not yet.
But it was revealed that Anthony Fauci at NIH had been part of some really questionable experiments.
Implant aborted baby parts into lab animals. Have you heard of that sort of research?
Yeah, we did an analysis a few years ago showing that over 90% of experiments with using human fetal tissue and putting them involved animals were funded by Fauci's NIAID.
Do you know where they're getting the aborted human fetal tissue?
A lot of it is happening at colleges and universities that have affiliated hospitals that perform that procedure.
Madam Chair, I think we need to look into that as well.
Yeah. Lauren Boebert on the case.
It's
just one horror show after another with the funding and what in your name, with your tax dollars, and borrowing money to do this stuff too.
You know, the puppies and cats were bad enough. Now we're hearing about fetal tissue being used, abortions being used. I mean, we've suspected and talked about this forever. They've been denying it forever. I wonder if we've just uncovered another reason that they worship at the altar of abortion. There was one witness who doesn't think fraud is a major problem in the federal government.
Yeah, so this is, we put a full screen one up. We don't need to play the clip from him, but this is...
Cat's got sunglasses on indoors.
Well, he's blind.
Okay.
Yeah, so
all right, no wonder. Dylan, I take that back.
Well, I told Pat I didn't want to ruin anything. I said, let's just do this, and I said, everything I tell you
I thought
about
he was
this
trying to
guy
be hip.
Is accurate.
You know, he wears his sunglasses at night so he can whatever it was he said after that in that song.
What does he say?
I can't.
Now I'm pissed because I don't know.
I know. I'm going to have to look at I can.
Okay, so let's get back to Dylan Heltler. Okay?
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
So he's blind, and he's
right.
part of a government watchdog group.
Oh, boy.
That deals with government oversight. I told you, everything I said is going to be accurate.
All right.
And he doesn't see fraud. He just says, people are making mistakes. Yeah, it's just errors get... And
he doesn't see fraud.
And that was their...
But he means that in every sense of the word. He's saying this isn't fraud.
That was the witness.
That's great.
That was there to...
That's fun. Isn't that fun?
Boy, that is... that says everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So there you go. It's a blind guy who doesn't see the fraud. Waste. He conceded that there's waste.
Oh, he can. Okay. Interesting.
Oh, he can see? Wait, what? What? I'm getting too many voices in my head at the same time. So anyway, he was the lone voice in the wilderness.
Wow. And he's part of the DOGE team?
No.
Oh, okay. They're just bringing
he was part of like I said, a watchdog group.
Okay. A watchdog. The blind watchdog with oversight. I see. Okay. That's fascinating. Mm-hmm. That's good.
So it was a blind guy.
All right. Just to solve this mystery that's been going on since, I don't know, 83 or 84 when Corey Hart came out with sunglasses
Oh, yes, we got there. Okay.
Yeah. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can watch you weave, then breathe your storylines. No idea that's what he said. I've never known that.
Oh, now I know what was being whispered in my ear by
Watch
Wes.
you weave, then breathe your storylines. And I wear my sunglasses at night so I can keep track of the visions in my eyes while she's deceiving me. It cuts my security.
Aw.
Has she got control of me? I turn to her and say, don't switch the blade on the guy in shades. Oh, no. Wow. I mean, I'm learning here because it's so hard to understand him in that song.
Yeah. But wasn't it disappointing? Because now we have the internet. But boy, when you would buy a cassette or even a CD and it didn't have the lyrics, your heart sank. You're like, oh.
Yeah, how am I going to ever figure this out?
Now you got Shazam.
When you had the album, you could slow it down. Like, put your finger on it and see if you could then maybe tell what he said. But even then it was hard. But
that's fun.
But there you go. Solving a 45-year-old mystery.
Now that song's in my head.
Uh-huh.
Appreciate it.
Speaking of waste and fraud, which the blind guy actually didn't see, EPA Director Lee Zeldin had an important message yesterday.
Boy. Hi, this is EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. One of my very top priorities at EPA is to be an excellent steward of your hard-earned tax dollars. There will be zero tolerance of any waste and abuse. An extremely disturbing video circulated 2 months ago featuring a Biden EPA political appointee talking about how they were tossing gold bars off the Titanic, rushing to get billions of your tax dollars out the door before Inauguration Day.
Oh, jeez.
The gold bars were tax dollars, and tossing them off the Titanic meant the Biden administration knew they were wasting it. Following this revelation, during my meetings with members of Congress, I made a very important commitment to them and to the American people, which I reiterated at my confirmation hearing that if confirmed, I would immediately get a full accounting. Fortunately, my awesome team at EPA has found the gold bars. Shockingly, roughly $20 billion of your tax dollars were parked at an outside financial institution by the Biden EPA. This scheme was the first of its kind in EPA history, and it was purposefully designed to obligate all of the money in a rush job with reduced oversight. Even further, this pot of $20 billion was awarded to just 8 entities that were then responsible for doling out your money to NGOs and others at their discretion with far less transparency. Just under $7 billion was sent to one entity called the Climate United Fund. I'm sure you and I now have some of the same questions. How do these organizations decide how to allocate funding? How much money have they given out so far and to whom?
Right.
Are there any former Biden EPA staffers who are now working at these entities? Let me make one thing abundantly clear. At this point, there is zero reason to suspect any wrongdoing by the bank. Here's my position as EPA administrator. The financial agent agreement with the bank needs to be instantly terminated, and the bank must immediately return all of the gold bars that the Biden administration tossed off the Titanic. EPA needs to reassume responsibility for all of these funds. We will review every penny that has gone out the door.
Good.
I will be referring this matter to the Inspector General's office, and will work with the Justice Department as well. The days of irresponsibly shoveling boatloads of cash to far-left activist groups in the name of environmental justice and climate equity are over. The American public deserves a more transparent and accountable
this
government.
This second term was well worth the wait.
Transpired these past 4 years.
Absolutely.
We take our obligations under the law as seriously as it gets. I've directed my team to find your gold bars, and they found them.
Found them.
Now we will get them back inside of control of government as we pursue next steps.
You know what?
President Trump has vowed.
Yeah.
We are going to usher in a new golden age of American success for the citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Love it. You know, it just, usually when it seems too good to be true, it isn't. And so I'm having a hard time processing that this is actually happening. You just keep waiting for something to implode, and it's not imploding. They continue to do the things that we've been begging them to do for decades.
Can we revisit that?
Incredible.
You say, usually when we say it's too good to be true, it is.
Right. Too good to be true.
Okay.
But
you said it isn't, and I just want to make sure.
But this isn't too good to be true. It's actually happening.
Yes. Isn't this incredible? I mean, this is like a dream.
Yeah, it is.
Not tired of winning.
When are we going to wake up?
I'm not tired of winning. I know, but I keep thinking we are going to awake from this incredible dream that we're having, and then you're like, oh crap, it was just a dream.
I'm just so nervous. What?
I know.
But with each day that passes, and I think, what's the left got planned? It's becoming somewhat clear that they have nothing planned because they weren't prepared for this.
Yeah, the only plan is to get people in the streets and start causing trouble.
Oh, you know what?
I think that's their only plan.
And when we get done with this spot, I'll show you their plan, actually. It's coming up very soon.
All right. Coming up, we got more. There's more really good news. And so if you're not tired of winning yet, you're going to enjoy it. Most Americans have been aware of Anthony Fauci since the COVID pandemic really took off in 2020. But Dr. Richard Ebright, a molecular biologist from Rutgers, has had Fauci on his radar since, well, the 2001 anthrax scare, at least, after which Dick Cheney empowered him and the NIAID with the authority and funding for biodefense, once reserved solely for the Department of Defense. In the latest episode of Matt Kibbe's documentary series, The Cover-Up, he joins Dr. Ebright as he walks us through a series of embarrassments that begin with the creation of the deadly 1918 Spanish flu. They brought it back for some reason. All of this gain-of-function stuff where they try to bring deadly diseases back or make it so that they could pass from one species to another. It's why are we doing it? Well, you get some answers. The answers you've been demanding for years about the dark research, the fraud, the corruption surrounding Anthony Fauci. It's a fatal culture of hubris and graft that left so much destruction and mistrust in its wake. Watch episode 4 of The Cover-Up, Smoking Gun, on BlazeTV. It's released today, right? Become a subscriber at FauciCoverup.com/Pat. FauciCoverup.com/Pat. And use Smoking Gun to get $30. That's the promo code, $30 off your subscription. FauciCoverup.com/Pat. Code Smoking Gun to get $30 off your subscription.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
Yeah. All right, let's finish with the good stuff, and then we can show you what the left has planned.
The VA secretary is added, and I think this is a coordinated attack from the Trump administration.
I love it.
Because here's the VA secretary telling us what is happening inside the VA.
All right.
Hey, everybody. It's Doug again. I can't believe it. I've been here about a week. And you know the one thing that hadn't changed about D.C.? It's the media up here that like to tell you stuff that they want you to believe. I'm going to give you a breakdown. This is how it happens in the media up here. They take a possibility and then they run with a story because they want you to believe it because they got to write something. And frankly, they don't know what to write because right now President Trump is making progress and this administration is doing what it said, making promises and keeping them. But let me tell you one that's right now. There's a one that's going around in the media right now about veterans' benefits being cut. I'm the Secretary of VA. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not happening. They can do hypotheticals all they want. I'm telling you about reality. Reality is veterans' benefits aren't getting cut. In fact, we're actually giving and improving services. In our Veteran Benefits Administration, they're actually clearing cases quicker. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. There's also this rumor out there that DOGE is out there, is this infamous thing that's going to take personal information and do that. I'm telling you what, we've got DOGE representatives here that are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that is looking at our contracts, making sure that we have the best run facility for efficiency to make sure the veteran gets the care they need. I'm happy to partner with them to find things that we need to get rid of so that we can put the money where it belongs. You know where that is? Back with our veteran. President Trump's hit the ground running. We've hit the ground running. And like I'm saying, if you want to come for the real truth, come to see me.
Was he a used car salesman at some point? Come down here. Come see me. And good pickup there by Chris. Clearly, DOGE is already at the VA.
Yeah.
Digging in.
Good.
Now, you said they were.
There's a lot of waste in the VA.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So we got a holiday coming up on Monday, and I will be here because we're not government employees, but President's Day is coming up. And the Democrats have planned, if you want to put a full screen 3, please, the poster showing you, the next one, I guess, whatever the other one is, the other flyer. We'll get to that one. Yeah, National Day of Protests coming up because they're minions. They got to get them out there. They're like, hey, government workers, we know you're off. By the way, the judge that's now been allowed to go through the buyout, 75,000 government employees off the books now. And so, but they're expecting you to show up at the White House, at your state capitol, your city hall, your town hall. We got to resist fascism on Monday, February 17th.
Fascism.
Yeah, I know. And then the other one is no Nazis in America. Tesla owners, you better trade or sell your Teslas before February 12th. That was yesterday.
After that, it's open season? On Teslas?
No, I think it's a threat on you. Yeah.
What does that mean? What are you going to do?
If you own something that Elon Musk created, you're a target.
Oh, my God.
So the left scrambling and, of course, promoting violence.
Keep in mind, 5 years ago, Elon Musk was one of their heroes. Elon Musk believed so much in climate change that he wanted us to colonize other planets. They loved Elon Musk. He was one of their guys. Wow. All right, there's a lot more to get into, and we'll do that coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Tweet here from Tom Karnick. The voices in your head, Keith, have nothing to do with your headphones.
That's a fact. That is 100% true. Good call.
Fury and Energy. It's not officially an episode of Pat Unleashed until song lyrics are read on the air.
That is true.
It's kind of true, isn't it? Yeah. Striker 1B. We were missing gold bars? Ask Bob Menendez if he has a few laying around his house.
Oh. There you go.
His cancer wife had the gold bars.
Yeah, that thieving wife of his.
Thieving wife.
Yeah. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything wrong. That's and he tried to actually coax a pardon out of Trump too.
He sure did.
Has he already been locked in the pokey? Or
I think so. I think he reported for prison, didn't he?
Let's see here.
He had that little speech like a week or two ago, and then I think he was supposed to go to jail. But
I don't know.
Does it say?
I just see he was sentenced to 11 years. I don't know if he just took a walk over to the prison immediately after. Or...
All right. Well, yesterday the president previewed a presentation he'll make today on fraud.
Okay. The next clip, whatever that is.
It's a really quiet presentation. Apparently.
I'm considering extension talk about widespread fraud and abuse.
Oh yeah, tremendous fraud. There's tremendous fraud, and it's hard to believe that you can have that kind of fraud. You're talking about are you talking about what? Wait. Which are you talking? You're talking about with regard to all of the investigations that are going on about this stupidity. What we're going to do is tomorrow I'm having a news conference. I'm going to read to you some of the names that hundreds of millions and even billions of dollars have been given to. And if you tell me that we should be giving money to those things, those entities, I think you'll probably have to leave as a reporter because you're not very talented. When you look at the kind of money, billions and billions of dollars being thrown away illegally, and there's no chance. I mean, I say it in front of our Attorney General. There's no chance that there's not kickbacks or something going on. When you give millions and millions of dollars to somebody that stands to look at something for 15 minutes and walks away with millions of dollars, that money's coming back in some form. And that's only one form of corruption. The biggest thing is what they do to our country. They're taking massive amounts of money and spending it on items. I went through a list of 200 expenditures that were made.
Listen to this.
And I found 3 that looked like they were reasonable. Okay, 3. And we'll be talking about that tomorrow. We have a lot of stuff. And I want to commend Elon because he's done a fantastic. He doesn't need this. You know, he's abused by you people every day. He's found more things than anybody could find. I think he's got the credibility to do it. I know he does. And it's his group of people. You know, they started off with 12. I call them 12 geniuses. They started off with 12, and they went to 20 and 25, and now they're up to almost 100.
Wow.
People are joining to help them. Wow. This is a massive fraud that's taken place.
Yeah.
That's breaking news. 100 DOGE team members. And by the way, it's great to see him not only defend Elon, but praise Elon, because the press and the Democrats are doing everything that they can to try to drive a wedge between them. Who's the real president? Do you care that he's on the cover of Time magazine? Blah, blah, blah. Nope, they are simpatico and working together to save this country, and I love it.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like they're even going after his son. They went to his girlfriend, who's the mother, and got her thoughts. He shouldn't be having our son in public. They're just trying to anything and everything they possibly can to disparage him and discredit him. And it's really pathetic.
Yeah, he's a cute kid, man. Look at that.
He is. He is. His name's X, right?
Yeah. That's his name. And then, so you got Whoopi and all the cluckers.
Mocking the sun on The View yesterday.
So yesterday, Elon Musk took his son X to a press conference. I did not name the child. And I don't want to hear any more mess about our names, okay? Okay? Anywho, he took little X.
Funny. A little Instagram.
He doesn't own Instagram. He doesn't own Instagram. He just took little X with him to a press conference in the Oval Office to defend himself against critics who say he should not have the power to gut the federal agency.
Oh, that was a good frame to leave it on at the end there. Put that up if you're trying to scare birds out of your garden. So her name is Whoopi. I'd like to point out. Whoopi.
Right.
Okay.
She told you not to do that with her name.
Oh,
she told you.
I thought kids were off limits. Is that not the case anymore?
Not with them. Not with the coven. Meanwhile, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt dealt with reporters just after the news that inflation was up 3% in January. This is so good. This is so good. Watch this.
First of all, on the inflation point, we did receive those numbers, and they were worse than expected, which tells us that the Biden administration indeed left us with a mess to deal with. It's far worse than I think anybody anticipated, because unfortunately the previous administration was not transparent in where the economy truly was. We know people at this very podium told the American people that inflation was transitory and that it would go away. That was not the case. And now the last report of the Biden administration, as revealed today, shows that inflation is still about 4.5% higher over the past 3 months. This is an indictment on the Biden administration's mismanagement of the inflation crisis and their lack of transparency in addressing it.
Now, they're trying to blame that on Trump. Try desperately to blame it on Trump. Now, not only has he only been in office for 3 weeks, But these are December, January numbers. December to January. That's what these numbers are. They're Joe Biden's numbers. And they want so desperately to start bashing Trump on the economy. It's really pathetic. Mm-hmm. We're going to go through this. It's probably going to get worse before it gets better. She also addressed obstructionist judges and other government officials ignoring Trump's orders.
What does the response of the Trump administration send to any federal bureaucrats that are thinking about obstructing the president's agenda?
They will be held accountable. The president is signing executive orders daily, and he expects all officials across the administration, regardless if they are a political appointee or if they are a career bureaucrat, to adhere to the will of the American people and the 77 million Americans who reelected President Trump. He is here for a reason, and he is focused every day on implementing his administration's goals and sending $59 million to a migrant hotel to house illegal immigrants when there are still people in North Carolina and California who have not received FEMA funding is not something that this administration is going to tolerate.
Good. It's just no nonsense, good stuff.
And she does not have a big book of everything either in front of her. She has just a few pages of notes, as you see there.
Oh. Yep.
The end. Not a giant binder that grew in doubled in size like every 3 months.
She was asked why the Associated Press, I love this, is no longer allowed in the White House.
Which White House official made the decision to bar the AP reporter from the Oval Office and the diplomatic reception room last night?
Well, first of all, let me just set the record straight. It is a privilege to cover this White House. It's a privilege to be the White House press secretary. And nobody has the right to go into the Oval Office and ask the President of the United States questions. That's an invitation that is given. And there are hundreds of outlets on this campus, many of you in this room who don't have the privilege of being part of that pool every single day and getting to ask the president questions. We reserve the right to decide who gets to go into the Oval Office, and you all have credentials to be here, including the Associated Press, who is in this briefing room today.
But isn't it retaliatory in nature is the argument, because the reason that the AP was barred, which they said was because they're not using the phrase Gulf of America, they're using Gulf of Mexico in line with their standards. And so the question here is this setting a precedent that this White House will retaliate against reporters who don't use the language that you guys believe reporters should use? And how does that align with the First Amendment commitment that you were just talking about?
I was very upfront in my briefing on day one that if we feel that there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable. And it is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America. And I'm not sure why news outlets don't want to call it that, but that is what it is. The Secretary of Interior has made that the official designation in geographical identification name server. And Apple has recognized that. Google has recognized that. Pretty much every other outlet in this room has recognized that body of water as the Gulf of America. And it's very important to this administration that we get that right, not just for people here at home, but also for the rest of the world. Sure.
Okay.
The only thing missing is a placard on the front of her podium that says hashtag put that in your pipe.
Yeah.
Which is the official hashtag of Pat Gray Unleashed.
That's a big difference in KJP and Jen Psaki.
Jeez.
Holy
You think?
cow.
Yeah. She's been really good so far. She's been really good. She doesn't care.
No. Zero cares.
Essentially the question to what she was, the answer to the question, isn't this retaliatory to the people that have been in the hot set in this week? Yes.
Yeah.
It's essentially yes. Okay? So if you don't like that, then don't piss us off, because you're here at our pleasure. We allow you into the building or don't. And that's our prerogative. If you don't like it, tough.
And like she said,
tough.
the AP is in the room.
Yeah,
she's
right.
Speaking.
Right. Yeah.
But there's an extra layer that if you're not gonna, if you disrespect Trump, then you don't get to go up there.
I'm telling you, we talk about the 4 years of Trump putting together these thoughts and these ideas, and I mean, look at the team.
Yeah.
Look at people like Karoline Leavitt. Look at, just across the board, these are people that are focused. They're on the same page on everything, and they don't care what you think about them. And I love this crew.
It's been great. She talked about some of the wasteful spending that DOGE is uncovering, too.
As for the actual receipts, we are happy to provide them, and I actually brought some today because all of you know I love to bring the receipts. We have contracts upon contracts that we can send and provide this information to you. Let me be very clear. We are not trying to hide anything. We have been incredibly transparent, and we will continue to be. These are screenshots of contracts that DOGE found across our government. This is a DEI contract, $36,000 for U.S. citizenship and immigration services. That is against the president's policies and his America First agenda. This is a $3.4 million contract, a Council for Inclusive Innovation at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Department of Commerce, another DEI contract that DOGE identified. I can continue to go through these. Oh, I love this one. $57,000 for climate change in Sri Lanka. What is this doing to continue the interests of the American people? Absolutely nothing. These are the line items across the federal government that DOGE is identifying daily. They're moving very fast. There's a lot of paper that we can show you, but we're happy to do it. This administration has been more than transparent about what DOGE is doing. And here's one of their tweets that they posted about the mine. I believe this is in Pennsylvania, where the federal employee retirement system is being processed. Did anybody know this was even happening in our country before Elon Musk talked about it in the Oval Office yesterday? A lot of Americans didn't. So we are providing transparency and accessibility on a daily basis when it comes to DOGE. And I also have a DOGE daily report, if anybody would like it, on all of the things that they are identifying and finding. We're happy to provide this information.
Yeah, nobody wants it.
We're talking
That's
about
the
it
problem.
every single day.
They don't care about it. They don't care about the actual waste and fraud that's going on. All they care about is disparaging the people uncovering it.
Yeah.
They couldn't care less about the fraud and bankrupting our country.
Absolutely. And Trump yesterday suspended funding to the National Endowment for Democracy, which they said, oh my gosh, this has been a bloodbath. We can't make payroll and all this stuff. What does the National Endowment for Democracy do?
What do they do? Since we're not a democracy, what does the National Endowment for Democracy do?
Well, they meddle in elections and push regime changes around the world in the name of promoting democracy.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm glad to hear that they are hurting today.
Did you also see that Trump reappointed the board of the Kennedy Center?
Oh, yeah.
And the board just elected him chairman. And he is now in control of the Kennedy Center.
So cool.
I'm telling you what, man.
So much for the drag queen shows and all the garbage that they're presenting at the Kennedy Center. They're not going to do it anymore because Trump was unanimously elected chairman of the board.
So it's not fair to say the headlines that say he appointed himself. That's not true.
No, it is not true. No, it is not true. It was the board that elected him, and they can proudly say that.
I tell you, you Democrats, it's so tasty for those in this audience, those in this room, those at this network. Again, it cannot be emphasized enough. For decades, we have been in the desert waiting for this moment that we knew would never come.
Thirsting to death, starving to death, and now we've got this manna coming down, and it's
all
so
because
great, so tasty.
They didn't let Trump win in 2020. If you just had sat back and chilled out, but instead,
well, and he said,
here we are.
He said, he really won the election. As he was trying to explain that the other day.
Oh.
He did say this.
The day before I heard the word COVID or pandemic, they told me, sir, I think there's a pandemic. That was not a good thing. I said, tell me about pandemics. But the day before we hit that word, I had a meeting with political people and pollsters and everything else. And they said, sir, if George Washington and Abraham Lincoln got together and ran as president and vice president, they couldn't beat you.
Okay. All right.
Who's top of the ticket?
Washington, I think, is the top of the ticket.
Yeah, Washington.
100 times.
You got to put the founding father at the top of the ticket, right? But they couldn't be Donald Trump.
Couldn't be Donald Trump.
Maybe that's a story you don't tell. It's obviously he's attributing this to the pollsters and the politicos who told him that. But maybe that's a story you just keep in your inside voice. I don't know.
He doesn't know how to do that, Pat.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. All right, let me tell you about preborn. As long as the abortion pill is legally mailed and taken in all 50 states, no state can be abortion free. Abortion pills carry distinct risks to mothers and death, of course, to babies. And they now account for over 60% of all abortions. Well, Preborn's network of clinics shine a light into this darkness by offering free services to women considering the future of their baby, including the abortion reversal pill. Did you even know this existed? Until very recently, when Preborn started talking about that, I had no idea there was such a thing. But this can reverse the effects of the abortion pill. It's just amazing what they're doing. That's why I'm so proud to partner with Preborn. They bring God's love to these mothers, and they also bring a lot of help. Up to 2 years after the baby is born, they're helping the mother with baby formula, baby food, strollers, all those kinds of things, emotional support, the things that they need. All proceeds go towards life, and together we can reverse this curse. Saving babies isn't just about life. It's about saving the heartbeat of an entire nation. This shame is on all of us, and we got to do our best to put a stop to it. Go to preborn.com if you can help in any way. Maybe you can do a monthly donation. Maybe you could do one really big one, or maybe you can do $1. Whatever it is, $28 buys the ultrasound for an expectant mother. $28. It's a great deal. Preborn.com/Pat. That's preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed. Sarcasm with 0 calories. Returns next.
Yeah. All right, so Elon's son, who's been making appearances with him, his name is XAE Roman numeral XII. So I don't know if they mean that 12.
Let's say that.
But here he is pronouncing it. I think this is with Joe Rogan.
It's strange to have a child and all this crazy. I think it's better being older and having a kid.
Okay.
I appreciate it more.
What? How do you say the name?
My partner is the one that actually mostly came up with the name. His great name.
Yep.
It's just X, and then the AE is like pronounced Ash.
Ash?
Okay.
Everybody knows
and
that.
And then A12 is my contribution.
A12.
Oh, why A12?
Archangel 12, the precursor to the SR-71, coolest plane ever.
It's named after an airplane.
True.
At least the part that Elon came up with is an airplane name.
X-Ash.
So X-Ash A12.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay. I guess you just call him X for short, right?
I'd go by Ash, I think.
Yeah, it would make sense.
But then you'd have to spell it differently, and then it just gets messy.
The kid's going to go to school, and teachers are going to be like, X-A-E-X dash
what would you prefer to be called?
Yeah.
Math equation?
Why don't you tell me what you would like us to call you?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yesterday, the White House said that peace talks between the U.S. and Russia are going to begin immediately, but it's unclear if Ukraine will be involved in those talks. My guess is yes, they will.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. You think Trump's not going to bring him to the table?
Yeah,
you don't think so? I do.
It's a sign here.
I believe that they'll be made to get along here.
Okay, well, Europe wants to be involved. I don't know what leg they've got to stand on.
Yeah, none.
And of course, the head guy of Sweden was saying how, well, after this clip, I'll tell you what the Sweden guy said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is in Europe right now, and he had a blunt message for Ukraine.
The United States does not believe that NATO membership for Ukraine is a realistic outcome of a negotiated settlement. Instead, any security guarantee must be backed by capable European and non-European troops. If these troops are deployed as peacekeepers to Ukraine at any point, they should be deployed as part of a non-NATO mission, and they should not be covered under Article 5. There also must be robust international oversight of the line of contact. To be clear, as part of any security guarantee, there will not be U.S. troops deployed to Ukraine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
And let's stop deploying U.S. tax dollars to Ukraine as well. Okay?
Right.
Let's get this settled so we can stop the graft here. Could we do that, please?
Yeah, the Swedish guy said, well, I think NATO membership is still on the table.
Nope.
What table are you looking at? Because that ain't there, according to our Secretary of Defense. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Also going to be interesting to see because Hamas says they're done releasing hostages for now, and all hell's supposed to break loose noon Saturday. That's going to be a big test for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be about 6 a.m. Eastern time Saturday morning. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
He did get another American hostage release yesterday from
Belarus?
Belarus.
Mm-hmm. You know, from the song.
Uh-oh. Oh, here we go.
Don't Bring Me Down. Belarus. You know that song? By ELO? Don't bring me down. Belarus. You know that song, right?
Yeah, we know that song.
Yeah. That is something else, though. Yet another American hostage sent home. Now, just get us the Hamas hostages. We still have a bunch in Russia. So
10,
let's just bring them all home. Yeah, I think 10.
What is he trying to say in that song, by the way?
I think it's Gruce.
It's not in the lyrics.
It's not?
It just says, don't bring me down.
That's a big part of the song.
I know, and it's not even in here.
Everybody thinks he's saying Bruce.
Right. Who's Bruce? Well,
not.
Apparently
he's not saying
not
Bruce.
in the lyrics.
No. Weird.
Now I'm angry.
So now we've doubled up on lyrics today. Yeah, that's you get an extra bonus today of song lyrics. And you know what? They've also released the nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they're as bad as usual. Mm-hmm. That's the good thing. They're just as bad as always.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
A little controversy involving Don't Bring Me Down by ELO.
I'm getting messages. Everyone in the building has got a theory.
Well, it's Gruce.
Yeah.
It is Gruce. It does say Gruce on what I Googled here.
Spotify's got it too.
Don't Bring Me Down. Gruce. Groos. I don't know what that is. I've never heard Jeff Lynne address it. You did?
I found him addressing it.
Okay.
It was a placeholder.
It was a placeholder?
They were going to come back and change it to something, but...
Do we know what they were going to change it to?
Well, when he found out that it sounded similar to the German expression whatever, meaning greeting, he decided to keep it in. And then since people misheard the lyrics and thought it was Bruce, he started singing Bruce live.
Oh, he did?
It's just nothing. It's nothing there. But it didn't.
All right.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's weird.
That's fun.
But it's fun.
I love music stuff like that.
Yeah, I do too. So anyway, it's Gruce. Don't Bring Me Down, Gruce. And that's important to know. Use that at parties this weekend. Nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2025 just announced yesterday.
Oh, no.
Some of these are okay. I mean, Bad Company? Yeah, I think so. I think I could go with Bad Company. Paul Rogers deserves a shot, I think, in the Rock Hall. The Black Crowes? I don't know. Did they have the staying power? Maybe.
I have a couple albums, right?
Yeah.
They went to my high school, and that's reason enough.
Chubby Checker? I mean, if we haven't put Chubby Checker in by now...
What is that?
Why is that? Why?
I mean, that's what
He's a first-time nominee.
That is ridiculous.
140 years later, Chubby Checker gets nominated. Yeah. Joe Cocker? No. One song, right? I mean... It's that one where he cries at the end or whatever. I can't even think of what it is. What is that song? I know he performed at Woodstock, but come on.
Have a Little Faith in Me? No? That's what I'm hearing in my head?
No, it's not Have a Little Faith in Me.
Let's see.
No.
Top 10 Joe Cocker songs. Let's get there.
Okay, give me the top 10 song from Joe Cocker. I think there's only one.
Let's
Is there
see
one?
Here.
Is there even one?
Feeling All Right?
No. Feeling All Right, though, that's okay.
With a Little Help from My Friends.
No, it's not that one.
The Letter? Which one does he cry on? Don't let me be misunderstood. You are so beautiful.
You are so beautiful to me. Yes. That's the one you got there. What? How high did that go? Does it
Number
say?
5.
Number 5.
Wait. I'm sorry. That's the number 5 on Joe Cocker songs.
Oh.
You want to know where that ended up in the
on the charts?
I'll get back to
like
you.
Billboard charts,
Yeah.
which I think were the official ones at the time. Billy Idol, first-time nominee. I'm ambivalent on Billy Idol. Cyndi Lauper.
We got to number 5 as well, by the way.
Okay. Joy Division / New Order, which is what I really knew of them as. New Order. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't.
Whoa.
I'm a little ambivalent on that one, too. You want them or no?
Yeah, I mean, they have
Yeah.
a couple of incredible albums as New Order, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
Everybody else seems to love Joy Division more than New Order, but not me.
Mana? I don't even know who that is. Mana?
How do you spell it?
M-A-N-A. With an accent aigrun over the last A.
Huh.
I don't know. Mariah Carey. Okay.
That's all. It's just the.
Well, when you think rock, I mean, when you really want to blow the doors off, the first name that comes to mind is Mariah Carey. Yeah, absolutely. Mariah Carey. Stop it. Oasis. Okay, maybe.
All right.
That's all right. Outkast. No. Put them in the Rap Hall of Fame or R&B Hall of Fame. They don't belong in the Rock Hall of Fame. Fish. Not a big fan. Soundgarden. I can go with you on Soundgarden. And the White Stripes, which I'm kind of neutral on as well.
There's a couple missing there.
Yeah, no Tommy James. As we've said for a couple of years now, Tommy James should be in there.
We got to get this guy back on the phone.
I know. I want to. Have we tried yet? Because we should do that. And no Phil Collins, which is my new Rock and Roll Hall of Fame geode. Phil Collins. I'm not even a big fan. He deserves to be in the Rock Hall of Fame. The guy is responsible for the sales of upwards of 300 million albums. Jeez.
Yeah, but who did he influence?
Yeah, right. Oh, I'm sure nobody. I'm sure nobody who had his record at the time was influenced in any way by him. It's ridiculous.
By the way, I was trying to make sure I had this right because I've heard of Mana. Because they're
You've heard of Mana?
I did. I have. Because they're a rock band, a Mexican rock band.
Okay. All right.
Have they ever been played in the United? Put them in the Mexican band music Hall
Territorian
of
dropping
Fame.
music knowledge.
put them somewhere else. They don't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No one knows who they are except for the Territorian on the show.
That's the thing.
Oh, well, I want Mana to win. Now I want it to win.
Now you want them?
I want them to win.
Okay.
Because they're the first Spanish rock band to be nominated.
Spanish? They're a Spanish band? Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, he said I'm sorry. Write this day down.
Okay, they're the first Spanish band ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spanish rock.
Spanish rock.
Rock, yes.
Or Spanish.
Huh. First one to be nominated.
That's cool.
I mean, all right. Whatever.
They're going to be here September 7th. I think you and Chris should go.
Mana?
Yeah. Joe just told me that information. Okay. So
we'll go.
We expect Joe to be there.
If I get free tickets, I'll go.
What's the venue?
I don't know. Joe, what's the venue? Mr. Mana Knowledge? Oh, he says, I'm sorry, that was 2019.
Oh,
American Airlines. Boy, that's a big venue for...
Sure is. Well, they must be really big, right? Spanish speaking. That's nice.
Well, we can go to
Didn't Los Lobos?
Lobos?
Haven't they been nominated? I could think there's some other. Who's that? Who's the band that did Æ A-XII? Yeah, they've actually had some American hits. At least those Los Lobos and whoever it was that did Æ A-XII.
Sure.
Back in the day.
Let me Google that for you.
Æ A-XII.
Okay.
It didn't seem like you just air Googled. That doesn't really bring it up.
Mosecades did Æ A-XII.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Oh, that's good. Nice pronunciation there. That's
but
good.
Pat,
So what's her name?
Mocidades.
Yeah,
Mocidades.
Yeah. But me and you can go to the Candlelight Mexican Rock Legend concert on March 22nd here in the DFW.
Is Mana in it? Or Los Lobos? Or Moseda?
Is it a spinach rock fest?
Yes, it's a spinach rock.
Now, Moseda, it looks like Mercedes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh. Honestly, you know what? Screw the Rock Hall of Fame.
Stupid.
Until Tommy
It's
James
stupid.
is in there. It's the most illegitimate thing. Except
Except
stop
for
it.
they're finally putting Foreigner in there last year. I mostly agree with what you just said.
But if you go back to the early days of rock, you got to go back to
Tommy James
all
and the
the
Shondells.
stuff that Tommy James experimented with and did, and I just get the guy back in here.
Yes, I do want to talk to him again. So if somebody can send out the bat signal that we want to have him on again.
Unfinished business with our boy there.
The bat signal?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Send out the bat signal.
All right.
All right. So now we've got this interesting
there was such a
group of idiots that we want to share with you.
Yeah.
We'll get to those in a second. We're going to do Wheel of Nutjobs. Look at this studio filled with stupid things Democrats have said over the last few days. And we'll get to it in just a second. First, let me tell you about Beam and their dream powder. It is so great. If you want to get to sleep and stay asleep and, wake up without that groggy feeling, then Beam's dream powder is for you. Good sleep never tasted so good. You will actually wake up feeling good. It's filled with natural ingredients, so it's not drug related. You're not gonna. It's not something you're going to be hooked on. There's nothing worse than the only way you can get to sleep is to take something, and it's a drug that you become. Your body has to have. That sucks. These are natural ingredients like melatonin and reishi and magnesium and things like that. So if you're ready to actually wake up feeling good, get to sleep when you need to so that you're not constantly looking at the clock all night long thinking, oh, geez, I've only got 4 hours left. Oh, I got to get up in 3 hours. That's the worst. Go to shopbeam.com/Pat. Use the promo code Pat and get up to 40% off your order. 40% off at shopbeam.com. That's shopbeam.com. Good sleep never tasted so good.
Now, more of Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, so let's spin the wheel of Nutjobs and see who we come up with to play first.
Keep in mind, all of these clips we're going to play were said yesterday.
Just yesterday.
By elected representatives to the U.S. Congress.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's go. All right. So we got, is that 5?
Yeah. Cut 5.
Okay. So cut
all right,
5.
Cut 5, Robert Garcia.
Two-parter here.
All right.
And we should not stand by as the richest man on the planet gives himself and his companies huge tax cuts while the American people get absolutely nothing.
Pause it. Wait. Now, Elon Musk has been given the power to give himself huge tax cuts? When did that start? So he also works for the IRS, I guess. That's interesting. Because even IRS representatives don't have the power to give themselves huge tax cuts. What is this guy? I mean, this is just asinine.
Yeah, he didn't ask one question, to my understanding, during the DOGE hearing. It was just ranting about Elon Musk and blah,
my
blah,
gosh.
blah.
All right, let's let him finish here.
Now, I find
If
it
we can.
ironic, of course, that our chairwoman, Congresswoman Green, is in charge of running this committee. Now, in the last Congress, Chairwoman Green literally showed a dick pic in our oversight congressional hearing. So I thought I'd bring one as well. Now, this, of course, we know is President Elon Musk.
Oh, okay.
He's also the world's richest man. He was the biggest political donor in the last election. He has billions of dollars in conflicts of interest.
Okay, I can't
and we know that he is...
I can't even handle it. I mean, remember how pissed off they were at George Soros and his political contributions? Remember how angry they were over all of the money coming from the corrupt unions? Remember that? Remember all that?
Memory.
Remember the current money that's coming from Pfizer and other big pharma agencies? Remember all that and how pissed they were? No, I don't either.
You don't either?
I don't either. I don't remember any of that because they don't care. The only thing they care about is when a person donates to a conservative cause. Unbelievable.
And threatens their basically their slush fund.
Yes.
That has enriched them.
And that's what's happening right now. Their slush fund is being threatened.
You may get to a point, if this thing sticks, where politics doesn't pay anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I go in to make, whatever they make, a 174?
Yeah.
But they come out $20-30 million to their name?
Who was there was a reporter that was, doing
that was Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren. Yeah. Hey,
you make
Senator
$200,000,
Warren, you make $174,000 a year. I think he said $200,000. Yeah. That's a little generous because we don't pay her quite that much. How are you worth $12 million?
Huh.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Weird. That's a really good question.
Yeah, and boy, you guys really know how to invest your money, Nancy Pelosi. Dan Crenshaw also high on that list of just being a soothsayer when it comes to picking stocks. But anyway, so there's a part 2 to this, Robert Garcia. Yeah, so he was on CNN after the fact, and they were talking to him about this comment he made.
Okay.
I want to hear why, but do you think that calling Elon Musk a dick is effective messaging for confronting what is a potentially irreversible transformation of the U.S. government?
Jeez.
Well, he is a dick. And I think that he's also harming the American public in an enormous way. And what I think is really important, and what the American public want, is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight for democracy, for the future of this country.
We're not
and it's
a democracy,
important to push back on the chairperson of this committee.
Talk about bringing...
What the American people want is what they're doing. Check the polls, moron. Check the polls. The American people are telling you that we want exactly what is being done right now because we're sick and tired of $36 trillion of debt. We're sick and tired of you wasting our money in foreign expenditures on corruption and kickbacks and money laundering. We're tired of it all. We don't want to pay for plays that are being done for transsexuals in Colombia. Nobody wants that. We don't want anybody to starve, but we understand it's not the government's duty to take care of that. It's our duty as individuals. And if we want to give, we will. And you know what? The American people give far more, like 3 times as much as the U.S. government does. And we've been taking care of it. We've been donating to causes. We've been giving charity. And when you do it because you want to, then it is charity. When you do it because you're forced and it's taken out of your bank account because it's taxation, that's not charity. You're forcing me there.
Yeah.
We're just sick of all of that. We're tired of it all.
And what he said there, we can gloss over it, but if a Republican had said that, it would be
my
front
gosh,
page
can
news.
you imagine?
We need to bring weapons to this bar fight because it is a fight.
Yeah. Well, even using the D word like that multiple times, even that they'd be screaming at the top of their lungs. All right, let's spin the wheel again because there's more.
Wheel of Nutjobs.
And 4. All right, we'll go to cut 4. Jan Schakowsky on manufacturing.
Yesterday, I met with a manufacturing company, but they also are engaged in getting young people more engaged in manufacturing. So I asked them, so how many of those students that are signing up and want to do this, how many are women? And they said, well, I know there's at least 13% or something. It was a low number. And you had mentioned trying to engage more women in manufacturing. I'm just wondering if just the name manufacturing sounds like a guy.
What?
Help us, Lord.
Wait, what?
Lord help us.
And she's just wondering.
And she's being for real.
If manufacturing, because it starts with M-A-N, if it sounds like a guy. Yeah, we should call it woman-facturing. Is that what is she saying there? Or
I mean, you can't write this stuff in the Babylon Bee. This is
wow.
Okay.
But stupid.
Yep. All right, where are we going here? 2?
2.
All right, this is Summer Lee. Okay.
On reparations?
Yes.
I love that.
This is old school.
All right.
Our government, no matter who is in power, has an obligation to right these wrongs.
Read
to
it.
provide reparations for descendants of enslaved Africans, to eliminate the racial wealth gap,
Is
to
she
uplift the black community. White
I don't know.
supremacy is rampant in this country. Just look at the current administration and our own legislative body. They have contributed to the social and economic harms, to racial terror black folks have experienced in this country. Now, more than ever, we must acknowledge and repair those harms.
Racial terror brought on by this current administration. What are you talking about? She's been in there since 2023, so this is her second term. Wow. I haven't seen one of those press conferences in a while.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're totally. Yeah, keep asking Donald Trump. He's going to give you reparations. What the hell? Come on.
Paying people who weren't slaves.
Right.
From people who didn't own slaves.
Well,
that makes a lot of sense.
Were you a part of this racial terrorism
No.
stuff? Oh, you weren't?
No, I wasn't.
Sounds like Mr. White Privilege over there. I don't know. What else we got here? What do we got?
Neither were my ancestors, by the way. We've never owned slaves in my past. All right, 3. Cut 3 is, this worked out really well. We haven't had the same number yet, twice. Representative Watson Coleman on black excellence.
Okay.
Black excellence scares Donald Trump.
Sure does.
It scares
us
Stephen
all.
Miller.
Yeah.
And it scares Elon Musk.
Yeah,
because you know
boy.
what? Deep down, they recognize their own mediocrity.
Yeah.
And so they're doing everything.
Elon Musk is so mediocre that he's only worth $400 billion. How much is it now?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
$300 to $400 billion. That's pretty mediocre. He only has like 5 companies that are making billions, if not trillions of dollars. His company, Tesla, has at several points been the most valuable auto manufacturing company on the face of the planet, beating longtime companies like GM or BMW, Mercedes, all of the Japanese manufacturers, Ford. I mean, come on. Mediocre. And Donald Trump, who's a billionaire, and has been elected president of the United States not once, but twice. Some would say 3 times. Pretty mediocre. Yeah. These people have done almost nothing.
Is this more to this clip, or is that it?
All right, let her go if there is more. Or
doing
is that
everything they can to entrench the racial wealth gap.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
right. Hold on. We got to play that again, but I want you to replace black excellence with white excellence.
Yeah, can you
replace
imagine?
Donald Trump and all the other names with Barack Obama and Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And just imagine,
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Black excellence scares Donald Trump. It scares Stephen Miller. And it scares Elon Musk. Because you know what?
What?
Deep down, they recognize their own mediocrity.
Yeah, can you imagine?
And
All right, I got it.
Wow.
Can you imagine saying that about Obama and Kamala Harris? You'd be the biggest racist. You'd lose your position. Nobody would want anything to do with you. You'd be canceled.
Okay, so we only have clip 1. But what if I land on one? Do I get $1 million? Do I get a box of Kexi cookies? Get a one. Come on.
One. No, it went to 5. So let's do 1 instead. Representative, the Baldy representative, Ayanna Presley wants to censor America.
This is.
Look, let me tell you something. I'll take a bit of umbrage here. I'll speak on behalf of my colleagues. I think I can say we are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress.
Wait.
But they are not serious.
No, I hope not.
Hold on.
You're willing to work with anybody who's serious about censoring the American people?
Normally, you can play a clip that's that bad and go, oh, she was going for this word. Or she meant the... Listen, there's no way around this. She wants us censored.
Look, let me tell you something. I'll take a bit of umbrage here. I'll speak on behalf of my colleagues. I think I can say we are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress.
What is she talking about? What is she going for?
But they are not serious.
I don't know. They're so butt stupid. Who knows what she's going for there? These are the dumbest living people, let alone elected officials. Oh, man, it's just painful. Painful. Ugh.
I guess that's what winning looks like, right?
Yeah, that's what winning looks like. Right?
They are scattered, man. They don't know what to do.
They're out of their minds
I'm
right
here
now.
for it. I think they put all their chips in the middle on Monday.
Yeah.
They hope every state capital, Washington, D.C., they hope people, please come out here so we can stop taking field trips to these U.S. government offices.
Mm-hmm. Even NOAA, the National Oceanic Administration, and whatever it is.
Atmospheric?
No, Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. I guess they've been told that we're going to keep an eye on what their scientists are saying about climate change and things, and so they're going out of their minds about that. I think what they're trying to do is rein in climate change hysteria, the fearmonger that's causing our kids to believe that they don't have any future. If we don't stop all technology and go back to living in caves, or at least living the lives of the Amish in western Pennsylvania, then the earth is going to be destroyed. And I think the Trump administration is taking a look at that and trying to put a cap on that from our scientists, and they're all upset about it. So this thing is just the hysteria is going to continue to spread. All right, we're out of time. We will see you on Overtime coming up a little later on, and then back here to finish off the week with you tomorrow.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.